Yeah, congratulations on your ASC award nomination.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would love to, start at the beginning of how you got brought on to Russian Doll. What attracted you to the project?
Gosh, that was so long time ago because we started in 2019. I think my first meeting was with Natasha and Alex, and I didn't have a script. My agent said that I should meet them, and obviously I was a big fan of the season one, which did really well, which was licensed by Chris Teague, and all I knew is that there's some very funky element and an opportunity for me to do something and expand on the season one. So I thought this is really fabulous. But I didn't know anything about the script. I didn't know it was right before Christmas. And Natasha, Alex was not Alex Bueno, who was co-director with Natasha on the season two. Natasha Leon, and Natasha was really describing what the show was about, and she started talking about time and order of time, and it seemed terribly like a book I was reading called In Order of Time by Carlo Rovelli, and I had that book in my desk, so I pulled out the book during the interview and I said, is that it's like this book, like what Carlo Rovelli is talking, or all I remember, she said, it from a wild card, I become a front runner, and I didn't think anything of it because obviously I still didn't know anything about the show at all, no script. I thought that maybe there's something about time travel, but still very little information, and that's how I got hired. It was an absolute leap of faith. And I read the script on the way to New York. And then the pandemic happened. And then we came back from New York without shooting. But we resumed again a year later, almost exactly a year later. And we shot in between of New York, came back for a month back to London where I live. And we had a month in between, and then we resumed in Budapest.
I mean, I'd love to talk more about this idea of time, and the fact that the show jumps a lot in periods of time. And, that was something that you spoke about with Natasha before even being brought on to the project. Once you were actually shooting it, what did you do to deal with all these different time periods? How did you handle that visually?
So we had different LUTs for different time periods. So we devised these. Actually, they haven't changed much. Maybe the 60s LUT really changed in the grade, but everything else sort of pretty much stayed in a similar. We worked with Greg Fisher and Company Free on doing the LUTs. And then pretty much it was sort of decided ahead of a time of how we are gonna progress. So it was just a matter of keeping a close check on the script, and because the scripts were kind of insane a little bit, so it's just a matter of keeping a tab on the script and making sure. I think the difficulty, I believe the episode which I submitted, it's episode 7, so there's no time, so it's the time where all the time sort of culminate in one moment, and the present and the past and the future is sort of the idea within Carlo Rovelli is that the time is granular. So if you go into this microscopic way, you don't see time in a linear way, you see it in a granular way, and that's really what the episode 7 is about, where it all sort of implodes on itself and collapses. And it's within a story, it's Nadia's stories where everything sort of collapses on top of each other and explodes to a resolution, to a finale. For that, I think we just used the sort of the regular LUT we had. With little elements, sort of diverging with the little elements here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to talk more about the nominated episode and, the particular challenges and things you're proud of from that made that be the one that you wanted to submit as you know, uh your
I
best
think,
work.
when I talk about how much time we had to shoot, it's really, especially in the sort of progression of time. In retrospect, we had 6.5 weeks in New York to do the season, and then 1.5 weeks in Budapest, and I have no idea how we did that. We in both times we had a sort of good enough prep to sort of talk through ideas, but I think once we went, it was like a high-speed bullet train, the sort of Japanese style, really fast, and try to be as precise as possible. And the location, especially in Budapest, a lot of the episodes I submitted, the location actually were in Budapest, and they were amazing, but also incredibly tricky. So the tunnel, New York subway tunnel, was in Budapest. We had to devise a special car crash of the train, so that was obviously done. Truck and dollies and lights, and we had the elements within the studio of the falling, and then we were in cisterns as well. For that, we found, or Natasha and Alex found this incredible location where they were holding water. It meant to be a drinking water, obviously not. We were very lucky because we've been told not that we can't shoot there for a long time, but actually that particular cistern wasn't connected to the main grid, so we end up shooting in there. It was really, really, really cold. Devon Catucci, who I sort of Russian Doll, we operated together. Devon was on B camera, I was on A camera, but it was always sort of us together in trenches.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Budapest side. So I was on a camera within the Budapest. In New York, we had Wilda Byron. But for this particular section in cisterns, I had to go back to the monitor to check and go back and forth. So I left Devon in trenches, and I think by the end of the day, I saw him almost falling apart, and I was like, oh my God, you need to get out, you need to get yourself warm, because it was super hot. It was one of the hottest, beginning of the summer, one of the hottest days so far in Budapest, and we were in very cold conditions in the water for hours, obviously. So that was very challenging, but really incredible location.
Oh yeah, it's a stunning location. What does this nomination mean to you?
Well, it's incredible. I mean, first of all, I think it was my first sort of proper season of an American show. Obviously, a show which I was already a fan of. I mean, ASC is such a big deal. I'm really excited. I've been talking to my friends about outfit, obviously trying to figure out what to wear. But it is such a big deal. I'm really thrilled, excited, and I can't wait, because last time when I went to the ASC show, it was I think almost exactly 10 years ago. And a lot of things has happened throughout my career. So I'm just I'm excited, and now I know more people. I'm really excited to see some people who I got to know over last years, and meet new ones, and it will be a great day. It will be a great evening.
That's wonderful. Are there any of your fellow nominees, either in your category or any other category, that you really were creatively inspired by their work this year that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Well, first of all, I mean, I really want to make a massive shout out to Mandy, and wish her a huge good luck with Oscars, which happens afterwards. But I think her work on Elvis is way beyond and above of what I've seen. It's infinitely creative, and so technically challenging, and so beautiful. And I just wish her all the best. I've been a fan since I saw it in the cinema, and I've been just keeping my fingers crossed for the ASC resolution and for Oscars. So I hope she will smash it.
Yeah, Yeah, that's a great shout out. Her work is absolutely spectacular. I've already gotten to speak with her about it, and like just the more that I hear about, you know, all the technicalities that she was balancing so expertly, it's really inspiring. Just like everything that she accomplished with that film. Um,
Yeah, it really
yeah,
is. It's stunning piece of work. Really, really beautiful.
yeah. Well, wonderful. I mean, those are really the things that I wanted to ask you. Is there anything else that I haven't brought up that you'd like to share about Russian Doll?
I think it was a great show. It was challenging. We had, as I said, we had a little time for achieving. It was we had to create an LED screens. We had to go to Budapest and filmed in places really deep down in sort of underground, and create car crashes, train crashes, circular trains, and it's just been such a incredible, inspiring show to work on with, you know, and we had just this incredible set of lenses. We had different, you know, we had a different textures for different periods, which was just so brilliant. So I'm just really grateful for everyone who took part with me on this, and yeah, it was a great show to work on. That's all, really.